So did everyone like?
Oh, I love it. The story. Oh.
Well, this is the first time I'm sharing it with so many people, so I was actually pretty nervous about the reception. So I'm really glad that it moved you guys as much as these stories, and as much as these grandmas, who I just consider to be such survivor women. They mean so much to me, so I'm really glad that the message resonated with you as well.
It did.
So,
I can't wait to see the other episodes.
So as soon as we start, as soon as we figure out.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah. So now we're going to start the Q&A portion. If I can invite the grandmas in the audience to come up here.
Yay, grandmas!
My name is Lady Sue. I host a weekly live radio show called Moving On. It's on Heritage Radio Network. You can also get my tweets and stuff. And I talk to chefs and sommeliers and other food folks about love, fear, business, pleasure. Because at the end of the day, like, food isn't just about food, but it's also about the story. So when I got an email describing, Caroline's project, I was like, this is everything that I care about in life. Like, literally everything. First of all, that's all right. And then everyone these days is a food. And on top of that, ethnic food is what everyone's talking about. And then on top of that, there's no better time than right now to be a strong woman, right? I mean, these ladies didn't get to, experience, but right now, everyone, it's okay to be a strong woman. It's okay to be a woman leader. So I think I know how lucky I am, and I know Caroline knows that too. She's such a leader. I mean, she formerly Columbia Journalism School, and oh my God, woo! Her resume is like star-studded. She was at her magazine, and she's like this multimedia journalist who somehow managed to squeeze out that spare time to do a Kickstarter, get that funding necessary to get this project off the ground.
We didn't
So I'm really sorry, but I mean that shows we're also honest, but also strong. All right. So the conversations we're about to have right here, right now, there's no better time for that. I mean, did you all notice that at the Oscars the other night, the director of Birdman, he said he dedicated this award to immigrants. This is the city of immigrants. New York is the city of immigrants. This is a country all about the immigrants. Woo! We all, right? Round of applause to the immigrants. New York was built by the Russian immigrants, right? And so I think the most special part of today then is the fact that we get to sit here and intimately get to know the story of these Granny immigrants, their struggle and hardship that we can't even begin to imagine. And I know a lot of us millennials, we didn't grow up in the war. And so through their food, we learn their stories. And so let's start off with my first question. Of course, it has to be for Caroline, the lady of the night.
So my grandmother's inspiration behind this series. And growing up under her, she took care of us. She moved from Korea to New York in her 60s just to take care of us because my parents lived a hard-working immigrant lifestyle, and they didn't really have time to pick up from work or make this happen. So my grandma came, and she took care of me, my younger sister, my younger brother. And she's always been fantastic. I mean, she's known in my family as being the matriarch of food. I mean, she has generated so many foodies before the foodie term. So she's also been, I've always known her to be a very strong person. I've grown up with her stories about, what we just saw, about her, really taking the shine from, and at a really young age. So, and then after I think my journalism degree, in video journalism, I figured, this is a really, there's a great format here to combine everything that my government degree had, which is cooking and telling a fantastic history. Yeah, so that's.
So before we go on to our Grannies, what was the biggest thing that that surprised you about this whole process? This was a long process, right?
It is so. That was what surprised me. I really thought that, it was like, oh, we had to want to be done, just throw on some shoes, and then edit, I've been editing for so many years, I used to be ready to do this, just not my fingers. It took a really long time. I'm also a ridiculous perfectionist. I hate that, but I love that, but I hate that. Yeah, there were some videos that went through just really a ridiculous number of minutes before I get to a happy place for me. So that was just some production side that was actually surprising.
The first video of your grandma is so incredibly organically charming. Grannies are just naturally charming. There's something about having a whole life of experience behind you that makes you just cool. So, Grannies, Barbara, Nina, Louisa, and Lubin. I would like to go down our panel here and just get out how did you end up in this country? Story. And a couple of anecdotes.
I was born on a small island in the middle of the Aegean Sea. And just like you see in those pictures of the postcards of white and a little sugar house, a little sugar house. And on every stoop there was a guy, a grandma, and so they were all mine. It takes a village, And when I left Greece at the age of 2.5, I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was very traumatic. I knew we were coming. I knew I could miss my bill. So I left those 3 guys and found myself in 5 struggle. And there were no more guys, there were boys. So I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. This is why I talk really. So that's true. And now my son got married to a wonderful girl and have 4 children. And I'm like, yeah. My younger son, doctor, I love the Jewish girl. And they have 2 children. So now I'm like, I don't know. How many brothers do you have? I have 6. 5 girls and a boy. And I'm very loved. So, I mean, you have to take a look because I like it. Are you ready?
You mentioned about Yana. That is a Tagalog word.
Oh, is it?
Meaning, yes, a woman who takes care of children.
Oh, that's it. Wow.
Yes, our Yana. Yes. We have Yanas in the Philippines too. Even here, those domestic helpers who take care of the children are called Yanas. So we have something in common. So I came here to the United States of America when I was already 54 years old. And I was just visiting my father, who was in Arizona, my brother, and then my sister in Chicago, my uncle in LA, my cousin in New Jersey. And then when I was in Chicago, my cousin here in New York called and said, hurry up, we need teachers here. And I said, oh no, my children is not want to teach in the Bronx. But you know what? I ended up teaching in the Bronx. I taught for 21 years until I retired in 2010. And I enjoyed it. And when my cousin said that she's going to the daycare will petition me, I said, okay, I'll try it for 1 year. That 1 year became 21 years. And I have been here in this country for 27 years already. It's great.
I go to Mexico markets and English. Some of you could be there. Yes, but it's a very good city, very beautiful, and everybody has both North Asia, very rich. Rich. So it's not base. It's very, very good. And I'm going to take you this. So my daughters came to the United States 25 years ago, and me and my husband stayed in Russia because my husband was very famous business, and the government didn't allow him to come. The American government, but the Russian government doesn't take him, doesn't allow him to come to the United States because he has secrets. So, 13 years ago in physics, if you know what this means. Physics means that our government doesn't allow us to come out of here. In 13 years old, we stayed in Russia and our family was here in New York. So, for 2 years, we was in the list of Bush's business. The people who didn't allow to come and they had the government of Russia had the list of businesses and they are the second business. And in 1992, they allowed us to come to this and very sick and he didn't work, and I was waiting for the days of this 10 years. My family is here, so we are together, and we are here. This is my grandmother. Everybody is graduated from the universities and received a very good education. And okay.
How many grandkids do you have?
4.
Lumen, how many grandkids do you have?
9.
Wow. Okay. All right.
My name is Lisa. The youngest grandmom's here. And have the most grandkids. I'm 95 years of age, and I'm a proud grandmother of 14 grandkids. 15 that are alive and 1 that passed away. Right? And you're evolutionarily young. I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm not real quick, but I'm happy. And I have a little rough time in my life too, but I will dwell on it. I refuse to dwell on it. It doesn't make me, any better just to dwell on it. So I put it behind. I just moved on. But I'm gonna let you guys have a little show. I'm the proud mom of 5 kids. My youngest kid is 28 years of age, and my oldest is 38. Just 39 years. I had them back to back. I had my first child at the age of 17. But the good thing is that all my kids are by one person. I made a promise to myself as a young kid that my kids will be twins. And I stuck to that. It was good, but it was rough. When I say rough, rough. No, but at that time I was married, but technically a single. So I fled to America. So I stayed there. I tried Canada first, but it was really tough. Because my last kid was 10 months old, and I was taking for 10 months to baby, and every time I had that in my hand, I was crying. And that went on for like 6 months. So one Friday I called the airline, they said, your ticket expired. I said, I need to get out. And the guy said to me, if you leave in the morning, you'll order the ticket that expired. So I didn't call my mom, I didn't call anybody. I just showed up. But I was happy to see my kids, especially my baby. And I stayed there for another 4.5 years. And one day my son said to me, he said, Mom, you're always crying, why not leave? You know, maybe okay, leave that there and go. And I made a man and I had to, yeah. But it was rough. It was really, really rough. I cried so many nights to sleep. 3 years, I cried every night. Many days I'm about to eat and can't eat because my kids, I'm not sure what they're eating. So, you know, you cook and you go to eat and then the kids will just come around. You know, it's like a subconscious thing. And I have to put the food on there, I can eat. And working was hard because you work and you get paid next to nothing. And you're there like 6 days a week. And you work probably 12, 13 hours a day. You know, but I'm a strong person, I'm still a strong person. And I have somebody to testify to that. That lady that's in there, I've been working with her for 15 years. That's my employer now. Miss Marilyn Seeger. You don't always get her, but she knows I'm a good person. I know she's a good person too. You know, she knows that I'm a very hard worker. And when I set out to do something, I do it. You know? And I had to leave my husband back home because we were there, but he didn't support us. I had to run and don't look back. And I remember the last thing my mom said to me when I was leaving, the day before I left, she said, don't do what you did last time. They'll be fine. And my kids did survive because I raised them that way. When I was 9 years old, I was cooking. And I raised my kids that way to be able to wash, cook, clean, and fend for themselves. And they can do that. They can survive. I can tell anyone that they're survivors. And they're very strong kids too. And they all have different personalities. And I'm proud of that. And my last daughter, with the help of Miss Seeger, just graduated grad school. She did. They financed her and she went back. She wanted to go back to school after leaving college, and she finished on the 22nd of December. And I have to say, very thank you again. And I want everybody to know, without the help of my husband's help, it wasn't going to be possible right now. But my kid would have done it because she was determined to find a job and go back to school. So that part ended up really, really good. And my second to last daughter, which is Emily, she's been working with me for like 9 years now too. She cooks for them. She gives them a hard time when she's ready. Mary gives her a hard time when she's ready. I don't get in the middle of it, you know. I try to keep out. It's not my business, you know. I try to keep out. And they have the differences, and we all have our differences. Like I said to Caroline, I don't have money, but I'm damn happy. No, I am happy because happiness is being able to go to sleep, get enough, eat have a meal, have shelter, have clothes on the back, and being able to be there for other people. And as much as I don't have, I try to still reach out to other people, you know? In whatever way I can, doesn't matter. And like I said to me, you can never have anything, which is a fact. I'm not ashamed of that because my mom is like that. You know, I do have my mom traits. We always want to help other people, even if we don't have for ourselves. We try to share what we have. So I will never have anything, you know, but I'm happy. And like Meryl asked, will say to me something, what's your plan? And I said, I don't already know, I don't really have a big plan. But I know one plan that I have, which I shared with her a couple weeks ago. I'm really gonna go back home and say about my mom. I don't want anybody to take my mother. So I'm gonna do that. My mom is 80 years old, she's still strong. I have a few more years, but I'm gonna go and take her. You know, I have to do that. As I'm sitting here, I don't want you to think I'm just gonna leave her properly or anything like that. You know? No, I'm gonna do that, you know, but it is what it is. I'll have to eventually come to you and say, you know what happened, I had enough. My mom needs me, I'm gonna have to. You know, and that's my biggest wish right now. And my grandkids need me too. Those back there, any guidance, and from being out here, from being here, I learned a lot of things about taking care of kids. I was very strict. Don't get me wrong, I'm still strict, I'm very low that. I'm my first child at 17. My oldest child is 30, going up to 39, and they cannot speak to me as they want. They dare not speak to me as they want. Because I had a rough life for them, and they have to give me that credit and that respect, you know. So I'm blessed. In God's eyesight, I'm blessed. In mankind's eyesight, I'm blessed. And some of the blessings that I have, I want to share with other people and let them know, you know, don't care how rough and tough it is, there's always happiness. You have to know how to find the happiness and to know when to be content and to be appreciative for whatever is there.
All right, now to sing us to the message. I think everybody, the top of mind often is like our dating lives, our loved ones. And these women, I feel like they've been through it all. Terrible husband, boyfriend, good ones, love their lives. I mean, for the ladies and gentlemen in the audience, what is your best love advice for us? My mother gives me love advice. I'll listen to you.
The only thing I can say about it is have a sense of humor and be kind and sort of expect to get sacrificed. I was a child bride and my husband is not a married for like 47 years. He died 4 years ago. And I'm very philosophical. The thing is to my son, the doctor says, Mom, don't worry about things you know. And yesterday's on, tomorrow isn't here yet, so we'll be honest right now. This moment, in this place, it's all about the almost finished. That's how I get through all the stress. When my husband was sick and dying of lung cancer, stage 4, I was making jokes on his death. What are you gonna do? I know.
Well, it's miraculous that the whole child, it's arranged marriage, like very
No, he came from Greece, my island, same island, and he happened to me when I was 17, and then years later, I didn't see him for many years. And then later on, I was 20. And
that's not a child, right? That's
well, I like to, come on. I know this is a joke, come on. When I said that I was married for 47 years, I was a child. Okay.
I was thinking you were like,
Oh, yeah, no.
there's hardship here. No.
But my advice is just be kind, especially to yourselves. Be kind. And they say, you forgive yourself. Right? That's my advice. I'm good. Oh, you're never laugh. I
agree with you. Humor is a good, should be a part of love. And all I can say is be faithful to one another.
I would like to say, especially for the young people, family is the main thing. In good families, the family will support you every your life. So my advice is to the family and me and my husband, we pray to raise up our children with this tradition. This is our tradition. In our family right now, together.
What can I say to all these people? I'm going to try to say to the younger ones. Like I said, mine was not perfect, but I was practically perfect. I don't know where I go wrong, what they wanted from me, but for the present moment, I love me. And whoever comes after, that's their problem. I don't get in the middle of their kids, but take what you said first, and what you don't want for yourself, do not give it to the other person. If you want love, you have to give love to get love in return. If you want honesty, you gotta be honest to get honesty in return. If you want caring, feeling, you have to be like that because you can't want something from somebody and feel them something that's not good. You know, it don't work like that. It's not supposed to be a 50-50 relationship, it's supposed to be 100-100. So if it's 1% different one way, it will not work out. I can't understand what people think it's not going to work. Don't care what you can. It's not going to be healthy. It's not going to be healthy. So, like I said, you don't have to do like what I do, but try to do as I say. You don't have to do like I say, you know? But I wish myself, I don't want a man for all of us are going to be there. I don't need a man for sex right now. I just need somebody for happiness. You know, somebody I could like and talk to and go places where I have a good time. And I'll be fine. If somebody can find me one, maybe. Maybe you can find me.
Louisa, I want you to start with the next question and then
What's
we'll
that?
back down some which is essentially these ladies were food, TV, cooking show stars for a day. And that's kind of a dream job, right? It's pretty cool. How did it feel like, in a couple sentences to be a cooking show star for a day?
Well, the experience was very nice, and I enjoyed being with Caroline one-on-one, for a day. If I should spend the entire day at my house. She was there for an entire day. It was supposed to be Louisa, I'm going to come to you for a couple of hours. Okay? I didn't have anything. But we had fun, we had a really healthy, awesome fun. And I felt really awesome inside, and I felt important. I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt that somebody recognized and acknowledged me for what I can do. But you don't have to. Although I'm on the show, Caroline doesn't do justice to me because I can really cook. I'm sorry. Yeah, since I'm 9. Yeah, since I'm 9 years. I raised my kids like I said. But Caroline, if I make a stale or something else, she wanted hot sauce for herself and that.
I version of Top Chef. Let's sell out Sunina. How did it feel like?
I'm very and this project is very good because idea. Because this project is very nice. And because the tradition for each nationality, Jewish, for Caribbean, the Thailand, everybody. It's very good. You have to cook. And this is very good idea.
Thank you. You mentioned that after the last two responses, we're going to be passing on to audience Q&A. So get your questions ready so that we don't have that awkward. Who's going to go first? I'm ready for you.
I was called by the manager of a newspaper, Philippine newspaper, and he said, Auntie, would you be interested in cooking with Granny? I said, what is that? And he said, somebody called the office and was asking for a grandmother. And I thought of you right away. Thank you, I said. And then my daughter emailed me money when I became interested in this, and it was the same thing. And so I said, okay, it's something new, let me try it. So
museum. I saw it, telling stories, and Caroline comes up to me, introduced herself, and she said, "You're really aren't you?" I said, "Yes, you a grandmother?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I had a show cooking for Granny, but just want to cook something for you." I said, jokingly, "What do you want me to do? Come afterwards?" She said, "Sure." My husband's favorite one is so my biggest concern was how would I wear that?
Those are the right concerns.
No, really. I'm working with my work. It's being around the right. And so we did, and it was great. It really was. And then Carol was on both, she came one day. And she also came for just a few hours to do one day. And then she came back. It was really fun. Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Carol.
Are these questions? We have the Grannies, our VIP Grannies up here tonight.
What, if anything, surprises you most about what your grandkids do or what your kids do?
Nothing surprises me. It really tickles me to think that it's like I look at them and it's like I see clones of myself. Really, it's true. It's just it's really wonderful. So nothing big is surprising. It's just wonderful. They do no wrong. And I spoil them. I spoil them. I love to play, so I had one fun. Range 21 to 4, and so I can consume it. I love to play. Okay, what's the process? That was the question?
That really surprises me. I guess from my youngest great grand, that's a great grand. I have 2 of them. It's only 1 year old, one of them, 1 year old. And my eldest is about 42, 32. That's the eldest grand. I'm taking with my daughter. So, no, they don't surprise me anymore. I know most of them.
For me, I expected everything from my kids, and everything's okay. They don't do anything bad, and everything they do surprise me every day, because they are so much in front of me. I don't know so many things that they are doing, that they think to do. But this is surprising because I am thinking of very, very far from us. But I don't feel that they are people who live. I go and telephone, something like this. They always do it. But I surprised that they are doing it like easy, like nothing else to do with this. I'm thinking that.
Because you have an idea, right? What surprises me about my grandkids that most of them are back in the islands, but when they have a problem, because I have teenagers, and I was not going to try and transfer this year. And the things that they would call me to discuss, they will not ask the parents. I think that's because I have a listening ear and I won't judge them, so they'll call and ask, Granny, can I talk to you? From time I hear that tone of voice and know it's something that they're not sure about, or they can't go to the parents for answers. You know, because the parents have a different approach to dealing with it than I do, you know? And the next thing that really surprised me, like she said, is the technology, because my last grandson that's here, he's not the last, but the one that's here, he's going to be 5 next month, the 10th next month. I remember by the time he was like 14 months old, he was already reading and he knew all the colors and shapes and everything. But he embarrassed me one day. I bought a tablet myself. And I am not a technology person. Caroline is like, get rid of that phone, Lisa. She knows I'm not a technology person. I have been all this phone that's been very well. And he said, I'm using some kind of tablet because I don't know about these things. I said, Grandma, leave it alone. Don't you see it's loading? And he was just about a little over 2 years old, you know? And I'm like, what is loading? And, you know, and my son, my daughter's boyfriend said to me, Moms, listen to him, listen to him. So I'm like, he's pretty smart and he teaches me. So sometimes we older folks have to listen to the younger folks and learn from them also, which I did for my grandkids. And that's it.
Next audience question.
Hi, I just have a question for the producer and the host.
Yes, Betty.
What did you shoot on? Like, who did you use to shoot? And then, what were the challenges that you went through? You talked about it briefly, but I didn't hear about like the story behind like the drama behind getting this on here.
So the shoot was a 2-camera shoot. So there was always a light shot and a close-up shot. We used Canon DSLRs. Either my equipment or permanent equipment. Brittany and Lily also helped me out with the shoots. And we recorded audio separately onto a Zoom each time. So that was the production. Yeah. So there are lots of wires, you kind of decrease the number of wires so that the wire was long. So yeah, there was a lot of equipment also. So that was the equipment. In terms of other, it's really hard to coordinate everyone's ability. You know, when one day will be available, the other will be available, some of my time will be available. If I could split myself disagree do that, but it depends. And so for some of each family story is very it's nuanced and would like to get the nuances out. So that's why I think it was so racking my brain with the brain and for each family. So you will know when you go through the series, not every episode follows the same format. And I think I picked the format that would go with that grandma's story. The worst thing that happened that really stalled the production, as some of you know, was that I was looking at performance, and it was really a scene out of a movie. And they had taken, of all my personal sessions, what they had taken, the really best was they had taken my edits. It took my external hard drive and my laptop. Thankfully, I had another external hard drive that had the footage, but I didn't lose a lot of the edits. So I'm actually happy to re-edit quite a few of the episodes. So yeah, that was amazing. Completely unexpected to occur.
So the question for you, Caroline, is, you know, artistic and sort of side pursuits, that passion projects such as this, it's important to know there, like, what the eventual goal is, like what's the, what is the dream goal of this project? Right now we're sitting here, we're absolutely loving it. What is the big picture goal?
So like grandmas.
Oh,
Sure.
Oh my, okay, well, hold on. I mean, I would like to keep going with this, right? There are like 190 countries, I think. There's always a great room for culture and for cuisine. One can pick up and share a very personal story. So that's kind of where I would take it. So like, I mean, that's kind of what I can see. Yeah. So if you guys keep watching, subscribing to the YouTube channel, then I would love to be able to do a second season with more grandmas, more cultures.
A lot of people are asking, so when can I see this? So tell me how that's coming up.
So the reason we have lunch ready today is because every episode will be airing every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on YouTube.
Alright.
To do with the channel is the Cooking with Granny channel on YouTube. So you'll see all the videos that we watched today. You'll see those on the channel along with all the upcoming episodes. There should be 9. I promised 9, but this before I got coronavirus. So I am still sticking to 9. Yeah, every Tuesday.
another audience question?
Would that also be on Facebook page? Like the links, something?
Okay, so I am not having social media. So yes, I will be putting them on eventually on the Facebook page too. So yeah, there's a technical page on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So whatever is on YouTube that can be embedded will be embedded on the social media accounts.
But then we can put our own like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so everybody has seen how that works.
Somebody share.
I just want to know when we get the recipes.
Good question.
I'm working on the recipe book. So actually, one of the Kickstarter rewards was a recipe book, and that was one of the works that was stolen from me. So, like I had the HD photos with the recipes, and so it's another work in progress.
I'll wait it out.
Okay.
And I suppose if you found a recipe you really wanted, you could contact the granny and she'll send it to you.
Personal exploitation.
Like ingredients and then that dessert beyond every Tuesday. That's exactly right.
Another question?
Yes, are you getting sponsors for this or are you financing it yourself?
So it was funded on Kickstarter initially, and then also through the help of family and friends, and today's event. The food is actually sponsored by, I'm not even saying this as a sponsored, but it's sponsored by H-Mart. It is a register that I grew up, the one on YouTube, I grew up going there all the time. So I was actually so incredibly pleased that it had, that they were supportive of my project. And Meryl